A quote from General Douglas MacArthur that I have carried around, I used to have taped to my mirror. I think identifies those characteristics. General MacArthur said a leader must have the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make the tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. He does not set out to become a leader, but becomes one by the equality of his actions and the integrity of his intent. So I guess to me that summarizes confidence, courage, compassion, and integrity. I think perhaps this relates back to, I think, avoid thinking you have all the answers. Or and in that regard, telling folks what they need to do before you hear them out. I think listening is a very diminishing and often underrated skill, and I think, in my observation, effective leaders take the time to listen, avoid snap decisions, but wait until they get as much information as they can. We at some point a decision has to be made. I understand that, but with whatever time you have, it's important to get input from others. In my political endeavors before coming to this office, I on 2 occasions ran against incumbents, and those were challenging times. And what you have to realize is you can't do it by yourself. You've got to engage other people in the cause and the mission, whether it's a political campaign, a charitable endeavor, or the workplace. You can't do it by yourself, and you have to take the time to get others engaged and motivated and believing that you can accomplish whatever it is you're setting out to do, whether it's a fundraiser for a charitable organization or a trial or a political campaign. You must engage others to help. I don't know if there is a single best thing. I do think being being a reader and being willing to spend the time reading and being well read. The masters, good fiction, good biographies, good autobiographies. I think it's important to be well read, that you're exposed to a broad spectrum of thoughts and ideas, which I think then helps you be open with other folks and to listen and to engage people. That is a great question, and I may not be answering it in the spirit of how you intended it, but I do think being an avid reader plays a role. Being a listener plays a role, and at some point having the courage to step out and take that risk. I tell young folks who are interested in running for public office that, or newly elected leaders, I congratulate them for being willing to step out and take the risk. So many people say they want to do it, but never do. And I think we've got to encourage folks to, at some point, take the risk and be able to face the possibility of defeat. You can't really enjoy the victory unless you're willing also to face defeat as well. In future leaders, I think I look for folks that are willing to listen, to engage, explore new thoughts and ideas, and who seem ready to step out and take a risk, whether it's in their career or some political endeavor or in their life. But I really do think, as I said earlier, that listening is an underappreciated skill, and I think good leaders have that skill. You know, I think I learn something every day, and I think in part it is to continue to be an observer, to be engaged in conversation with other folks. And this may not quite fit in, but you know, Howard Baker, who was a role model for many of us in public life, and who accomplished so much, maintained a degree of humility. And I think I have overlooked that in answering your other questions. I do think most great leaders also have a degree of humility, but Howard Baker said that his father told him to always bear in mind in a discussion that the other person might be right. And I think that does link back to what I said earlier about none of us has all the answers. We can learn from others, and you and I may have a disagreement. I should bear in mind with humility that you might be right and that I can always learn from you.